the judges are judging your work. This is, here we have, how many standards do we have here? 12. So we are judged according to the 12 standards. How many areas are we specially or practically judged? 8. So there are 8 areas, and we would like to see the 8 areas, each one of them, how many stations does it stop for sometimes, okay? So it's like 8 cars. It's like 8 cars. And each car passed 12 stations. And we would like to know, this car, okay, how many stations has this car stopped? And once the car stopped at this station, you just put tick. In other words, I'd like to make it easier for you, okay? Here we have the lesson and unit plan. Let's come to the lesson plan. Let's come to the lesson plan. Has the lesson plan covered standard number 1?
Yes.
Why? Because standard number 1 talks about what? About acquiring and providing vocabulary. Don't you put in every unit, I'm talking with my teacher of English, okay? Don't we include in our everyday lesson plan, don't we include new vocab? Of course, yes. Can't you stop at this station? Of course not, we just pass by. But some of us may stay in this station 5 minutes, other may stay for 20 minutes, and so on. That's okay, concerning your own topic. Let's come to number 2. What's number 2? I was about, by the way, to bring the standard, the 12 standard sheet, but I forgot. Sorry, just, okay, forgive me. Okay, let's come to number 2. What's number 2? What is standard number 2? You have it here? Very good. Yes. Yes. Number 2 is about the resources. About the resources. Don't you use resources in your lesson? We use it. Is it mentioned here in the lesson plan? Yes. Is it mentioned in the unit plan? Yes. I use videos. I use the whiteboard. I use newspapers. I use pictures. I use projects. Okay. So it's a thing. Let's come to number 3. Do you develop the students' ability and requirements in the language? Yes. And that's why I give them the vocab. And that's why I use the resources. So number 1 and number 2 are the tools to serve number 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's come to number 4. Do you assess or do you stress on working in a safe environment inside the class? For sure. This is a safe environment. Because every one of you feels relaxed, would like to listen and would like to make use, okay? So, it's a tick. Let's come to number 5. Do you plan and design experiences for the students to make the job appealing for them? Yes. Like the flashcards, like the videos, like the pictures, like the slideshow, the PowerPoint. You can't get inside the classes without PPT. PPT, the PowerPoint. Have you given me your PPT? Can you take? This is the word which we usually lesson. Why do we use it? Because we design our teaching plan in order to facilitate the matter. This is number 5, so it's I think. Let's come to number 6. Do you use technology and ICT?
Yes.
The 3 letters, the most common combination of 3 letters we used to lesson, okay, in our schools. ICT, have you gone to the ICT workshop? Have you gone? No. Do you use ICT and so on, okay? So, we use ICT, of course we use ICT. This is number 6. Number 7, do you use assessment tools?
Yes.
Every one of us has the Excel, okay, which we put. This is an example, and I think I spend most of the time just to declare what's going on, okay? And the same like this, the teaching resources. Are they stopped at this station or not, and so on? Have you got the idea of the curve in the stations? Not yet? Got them? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's come to something else. Evidence of practice. This part, this is section 5, where all people come to you and judge your work according to the evidence or the evidences are provided in this section. How? Let's have. So, the evidence of practice can be achieved by the 8 fields. What are the 8 fields? Lesson plan, unit plan, assessment tools, student assessment data, student feedback, community feedback. Then we have number 7. We have number 8, but number 8 we have repeated, so I didn't mention that. You know what's number 8? Self-review. Self-review, which we have mentioned section number 2. It's repeated also in the 8 areas, okay? As I usually do, okay, I just put here, or I made a hyperlink. This is a lesson plan. Why do I make a hyperlink? Because one of the expertise in the Qatar University advised me, if you would like your electronic portfolio to goes parallel with the hardware, okay, portfolio, just to do the hyperlinks. Because once I press, as I told you, the hyperlink, I just make print to have my hardware file with me, okay? So this is a lesson plan, okay? I'm going to give you a copy of this lesson plan at the end of this section to check it together. Unit plan, I have my unit plan. Assessment tools, would you like to see assessment tools?
What is the department logo?
Okay? You have got this one. All of us work according to this one, okay? Yes, okay? These are the tools. And we have here the statistics, I think. Okay? If anyone would like to comment to know what are the students' assessment data, student assessment, you are going to say yes. This was according to the first test. This is according to the second one. He got that, he got so and so on, okay? And I think we all keep one like this one. This is to show the students' assessment data. Okay. Student feedback. Do you think that student feedback is very important?
Yes.
In the portfolio, it's very effective. How? Let's come to see a sample of them. Just do it in Arabic, sorry Caroline, okay? I did it in Arabic because, you know, this is what we are doing. We would like all the students to understand what they are evaluating, you know? تقييم أداء المعلم من قبل الطلاب. Some of them would like to take revenge, I know. Yeah, this is what we put in mind, okay? But in order to be, you know, realistic, we just distribute the sheets and we know them, okay? So don't be upset once you receive some of the worksheets are all okay, or the evaluation sheets or the forms just be okay.
Can we consider any letter from the students?
Sure, appreciation, or letter of appreciation.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I have one I'm going to show to you, okay? So, one like this one. But don't you think that, what is the community feedback? What is the community feedback? Parents, very good. Yes, what else?
Other teachers.
Other teachers, yes, what else? You went out and gave a workshop in one of the schools, and they appreciated your work and they gave you a certificate, okay? You have applied in one of the activities even outside the educational process, and they have given you a certain evidence. Why not, okay? All of these can be included. Even a trip you do with the students outside the school atmosphere is considered one of the, okay, community feedback. I'm going to show you a sample. When I said community feedback, most of you from the first slide said parents. Yes. This is evaluating the teacher's performance from the point of the parents themselves, okay? From the parents themselves. That's it. And we distribute the sheets to the students and ask them to give them to their parents and return them back to stand on the level and understanding.
It depends on students also reflections, because the parents are not.
Look at that. It's a very nice question. Once I used to distribute these sheets. One of my colleagues was laughing and told me, "Don't you think that it's a waste of time?" I told him why. He told me because once you distribute all these sheets, you are going to gain one or two. That's the truth, by the way, okay? Yeah, because not all the parents are interested. But don't you think that 10, 7, 5 can be evidence for my work? I've done my job, okay? I've distributed the sheets. I wanted to know what do you think of my job, okay? I want you to evaluate me. If you don't know or if you don't have this one understanding of what my job is, just to come and visit me, okay? But you didn't. You don't have this interest. Thank you very much.
A 1,000-mile journey begins with a step.
That's it. Okay. So one, just someone gives me, or 10 of the students give me their participations from their parents. That's not and can be regarded as an evidence. Okay. Of course, I've shown you one of the teaching resources, which was the video, okay, and how it was attractive to the students, okay. And others, we have PPT, okay. We have internet websites, if you would like. We have pictures, okay. All of these can be regarded as teaching resources, okay. Dear colleague, do you think that in section number 5, we only just put the lesson plan, the unit plan, the resources, the assessment tools, and the students' assessment data, and resource, and that's all? Of course not. We come to the most critical point, which is annotation. Annotations mean that we stand on every detail of every bit of information I've given to the judge. Like what? I've said that this is my unit plan. Okay, and I said that my unit plan passed through station number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 12, 14, 13. They are only 12, okay? So they are only 12. So I said that it moves through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 11, 12. Okay, so let's come to the details of the details. Details of the details. This is a model on that unit plan, and this is what you are going to provide for the school attestation committee first, then it can be after that transferred to Corla. What is it? This evidence is taken from a year 10 English unit plan about sport entitled Not an Easy Game. The unit plan provides evidence for the application of NPST, National Professional Standards, as you know. Okay, 1, 2, 4, and 5. It means that I give a tick 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, or 4 and 7. I mentioned that before, but let's come. How do you think that it covers these standards? This is what I mentioned here. Namely, the SEC curriculum standards have led to the creation of learning objectives. Moreover, this planning accommodates range of students, including those with special learning requirements. Standard 1.3 notes also that planning for the extension activities 4.3 has occurred with advanced curriculum standards placed on the right-hand column in page 1. I've given you my unit plan. My unit plan passed through standard 1, and it covers 1.3, okay? Which means that we have to exert more efforts with the students with special needs. How can you provide that? Because in my unit plan, I've mentioned in my unit plan that in lesson number 1, 2, 4, and 6, we are going to give or provide exercises for students with special needs. So I refer to that in my annotation. So annotation means that after making the table, put your text, okay? You have to say in details, how did you meet standard number 1? And you know standard number 1 has 5 practices. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. If you would like to be more specific, you're going to say that, yes, I did 1.1 because I gave vocab, or my unit plan includes a lot of vocab, and it's mentioned in the unit plan. Okay, I've covered 4.3 because it includes using technology. I've covered standard 6.4 because I have made something to serve the community outside. I did so and so and so, and it is also mentioned in your unit plan. The same with the lesson plan and with others. I'm going to just move quickly to something else.